the not too distant future, somewhere in time and space, Mike Nelson and his robot pals are caught in a nasty place.
Hello, I'm Faith and welcome to Faith's Take, where I talk about anything and everything that I find interesting. And welcome to my review of episode 1010 of MST3K, It Lives by Night. There are two interesting facts about the title of today's experiment. One being there's a weird typography mistake in the title where the letter T in the word it is capitalized. But what was even more interesting to me when I started researching was that the film actually has two alternative titles, and technically It Lives by Night is in and of itself an alternative one. The main title when you look the film up on Wikipedia and IMDb is The Bat People, and the other alternate title is It's Alive. And that was basically the only piece of trivia about it other than the fact that it was covered by our trio. So with nothing more to report, let's just dive right into my review of MST3K episode 1010, It Lives by Night. We open with Mike and co. discussing the impacts paint color has on the mood of those in the room it's painted in. Not too much to it, but it's cute, I guess. That leads us to Pearl and Brain Guy ordering a hit on the SOL. That hit being experimental poisons dusted on them, resulting in unique, bizarre mutations for each of our captives, much to their chagrin.
Hey folks, painting day up here on the Satellite of Love. Time to spruce up the galley, the companionway.
And the can.
Hey, I thought I'd try a little experiment based on the theory that the color of the room can affect the mood of said room's occupants. How does this make you guys feel?
Well, I feel calm, placid, sort of a Jimmy Carter-like serenity.
I find I have the inexplicable desire to date Lisa Stansfield.
That figures. How about this? This orange is bright, cheery, said to increase appetite.
This may sound odd, but I feel bitter and ignored, you callous snobs.
And how does this color make you feel?
It makes me want to invest everything I have in steam-powered weaving machines.
Me too. Man, that's eerie how colors can influence you.
Wow, weird.
Oh, Pearl's pestering us, yes?
Oh, hello, Mike. I'm going to start today's experiment with a little poll. How do you feel about tactical misdirections?
Well, I guess, if it's done for the right reasons, I can certainly see using tactical... Hey!
Whoa!
Hey, you use tactical misdirection so that we wouldn't notice you're secretly spraying poison on us.
Okay, Monkey One, this is Bloodless Bob. Hit him hard with everything you've got.
Oh, okay, so I did. But what you have to understand is things were different back then.
That was 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, now I've got several more sets of arms. I don't even know which ones are mine. Well, they're all mine, I guess.
And hey, take a look at these hands. Might as well call me Bob Huge Hands.
And I've got a servo growing out of my back. Now I'll have to sleep on my stomach.
Fine. I'll drop a load of very expensive, highly experimental antidotes. But you owe me, Nelson. I'm also sending you a really stupid bat movie called It Lives by Night.
Monkey One, give the babies their bottle. Over.
Well, I should dry up and fall right off you, Mike.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Hey, put her there, pal.
Yeah,
We have fun.
Put her there.
Our film opens with screeching bats, bloody necks, and close-ups of somebody's eyes with basically no rhyme or reason, until we find out it's all a nightmare of Johnny, our film's unfortunate protagonist. He gets woken up by his wife Kathy, who assures him it's alright, and it turns out that the dream is a reoccurring problem for Johnny. The next day, the couple are out on a road trip to the ski slopes while Kathy noodles on her guitar and sings eerily the whole time. They stop for a quick picnic in the middle of the desert to find a bat crawling on their blanket, and it's made clear that Johnny has a weird fascination with the creatures of the night. Before they get to the mountains, they take a detour for a spelunking tour in a cave, as Johnny is a bat scientist. Though, while I'm no expert, I'm pretty sure that something as touristy as this wouldn't give an actual scientist any info he doesn't already know, but whatever. They lag behind the tour group, and Kathy suggests they go ahead and just have sex right in the middle of a public tourist trap cave. What could possibly go wrong? How about slipping right into a crevice full of bats and bugs, because that's exactly what happens to her.
Wow, we're gonna need spotters in order to watch this movie.
Let me go!
A human! He'll entangle my feet with his hair!
Yeah, I hate it when you get bats in your pajamas.
Yeah.
Johnny,
You can go home now.
you were yelling in your sleep again. The same dream?
Yeah, only Raymond Burr was in it this time. Now the credits are gently hang-gliding away.
In fact, the Lou Shaw film. Music for the heavily sedated.
Drawn to
Oh, I wish this car had an eject button.
Someday I'll tell you why I'm so smug.
Take me out to the ball game.
Oh! Huh.
Mary Tyler Less.
Johnny!
Yeah, lost my crutches. Yeah.
Johnny?
I'm sorry, Cass. I keep forgetting they turn everybody else off.
They turned me on.
Ugly.
Oh, I hope there's a buffet in the cave.
So a scientist gets his information from a minimum wage park service guy.
Second stair landing, wife okay.
Why?
Nobody can see us.
We're too thin.
Doing what?
Something down here makes me feel primitive.
Is it my raw manhood, honey?
Oh, gosh!
Hey guys, eventual food!
Instead of doing the logical thing and going for help, Johnny dives right in after her and starts hearing something before Kathy can even hear it, which turns out to be a bat. That kind of weirdly implies that he already has a supernatural connection with the animals, but it's probably just bad writing. The bat gets caught in Kathy's hair, and as Johnny tries to untangle her, he gets a bite on the head for his troubles. He insists he isn't hurt, and after they get rescued by the tour group, they just head straight to the slopes. As they go up in a gondola, Johnny falls unconscious and has a nightmare about Kathy getting attacked by a flock of bats, which sink their fangs into her neck. While he should obviously go to the hospital, he ignores it, and the duo spends the day frolicking in the powder. That night, while in one of the resort's hot tubs, Johnny takes a sip of alcohol and starts to choke. While flailing around, he breaks the glass, slices his hand open, and refuses to go to the medical station until the next morning. Johnny gets his hand fixed up, but he won't get the Pasteur treatment to make sure he doesn't have rabies until after the trip is over. Kathy tries to convince him and the clearly too mellow medical station doctor to have him start it right away, and they eventually oblige her.
How do we get out of here?
I don't know.
Maybe by not being idiots.
Jackie! No! Best thing we can do is stay put.
Trying to save yourself is undignified.
What is it?
I heard a woman say, what is it? He has his own pulley system, duck!
I can detach myself. I'm not stuck. Everybody calm down.
Now kick the guano out of you, you son of a...
It's nothing, kid.
Nah, he sucker punched me, that's all.
Hey, down here!
Oh, Elvis, please!
Down here! Are you all right? Yes!
Well, just go on then.
I don't care about bats. I care about you.
I care about me too.
And I care.
Oh, what a run that's gonna be. Magnificent.
That's what the ADR lady says.
I'm so glad. I'm really happy.
Oh, too much vapor action.
Try running forward instead of in place.
You kiss like my Aunt Rita.
Johnny, please.
We took a vote. We're pushing you out, Johnny.
Are you all right?
We're very concerned.
I'm fine.
You know, they save money by hooking the gondola to the power lines.
I have a brioche in my hat.
Eat my dust, honey.
Hey, this is an expensive camera. I hate that. Hey! At the precise moment they realized their marriage was over.
You ready for a drink?
Oh, am I?
Here's a glass of snow.
Oh, Bailey's and pickle juice.
Johnny!
How's our marriage going?
Johnny, what's the matter with you?
Oh, hi.
I'll stop in the first aid station first thing in the morning.
For now, I'll bleed in the water.
Switzerland, world headquarters.
That looks pretty good. That's not bad.
I heal you in the name of skiing.
Start treatment just as soon as you get back, huh?
You mean the Pasteur treatment?
Yes, otherwise he could go sour.
Johnny, I think...
Cass. Honey, it's not that big a deal.
Would you stop with the damn
Wait
compassion?
till next week.
You're working on a grant in preventive medicine and you won't take it yourself. You're not doctors, you're children.
But Dr. Mellow Ski Bum said it would be fine.
Our first segment plays on the fact that Kathy kinda sorta looks like Mary Tyler Moore and Crow is jealous. To prove that he looks more like Mary Tyler Moore, he makes Tom and Mike dress up for a little Mary Tyler Moore show role play.
You guys think that the wife in the movie looks more like Mary Tyler Moore than me. Even though I have the same skinny body, the same pointy hip bones, and the exact same hair, if you ignore the fact that it's a wig. Now, we're gonna do this right, so there's no backpedaling from you two clowns later on.
Ted, you can't have a lava lamp in your dressing room.
Oh, come on, Lou. It's what all the groovy hepcats are doing.
I said no, Ted.
Oh, come on, Lou, please.
Oh, Mr. Grant, Ted was only trying to
You
be...
stay out of this, Crow.
Oh, come on, Lou. I mean, Crow agrees with me, Lou.
Hey, it's Mary, you guys, Mary. Yes, Mr. Grant, I
Shut up, Crow, or I'll transfer you to Chuckles the Clown, okay, Crow?
All right, it's Mary, you spiteful bastards. How dare you be Lou, and you be Ted, and not let me be Mayor?
Johnny starts his treatment, and almost as soon as the first needle pierces his flesh, he goes into another attack, spasming out of control while the groovy doctor and his nurses try to get him back to factory settings. They assume it's just an extreme allergic reaction, but it's definitely caused by something much more ridiculously absurd than that. Later on, after finding out what happened, Kathy asks the doc if Johnny's case is more severe than they initially thought. At first, he seems sure Johnny's fine, but when Kathy tells him that Johnny's violent reaction started before the treatment, like in the gondola in the hot tub, the conversation snaps the doctor into action and he realizes it's actually pretty bad. Another bat nightmare later, and we see Johnny in bed trembling as his hands start morphing into the inhuman hands of a man-bat. He stumbles out of bed and runs out attacking a nurse off screen, leading us to many unfortunate events.
Oh, this one's gonna hurt like hell.
Would you mind waiting in the solarium? Go ahead, Kat. It'll only take a minute.
Be groovy, okay?
Okay.
Hey, she's wearing a Charlie Brown sweater.
What would you say if I sang out a tune?
You're having an allergic reaction. Try to breathe slowly.
We have to mellow him out. Oh, man, I've really got to quit killing guys.
From what I understand, allergic reaction can produce identical symptoms.
It wasn't my shot, it was your stupid reaction.
The rest of the shot should have minimal effect. Good.
Not as good as fondue.
You know, you were right.
I am hot.
I am kind of a ski bum.
Doctor, one of the nurses told me what happened.
You pinched her bippy.
But it was a violent reaction, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
The reaction pistol whipped your husband.
On the gondola and in the jacuzzi, he had these sudden fits of anger.
Has he never been mellow?
I wouldn't worry about it. We got an early start on the treatment.
Even if it's not fatal, there's a good chance of brain damage, isn't there?
This is all about me shaving my mustache, isn't it?
Come on, let's go.
All right, hold him.
Get him, get him, get him.
He's turning into a damn werewolf.
Vile.
Where's the nurse? I'm dilated to 8.
Hell? Hey, honey, come look at this. Is this weird?
What is that?
What do you mean, nurse soon to be killed by a bat?
The next morning, Kathy visits Johnny in the hospital and sees that he somehow removed his hospital wristband without cutting it, which, after personal experience with those last year, I can confirm is humanly impossible. After a bit of disagreement, Johnny ends up deciding to try and enjoy the rest of the trip with her. He goes out to buy her some new lingerie when his hand starts to transform again. He tries to cover it up while talking to a local sheriff, and Johnny acts overly suspicious, which turns out to be for the worse as the sheriff knows all about him thanks to finding his intact hospital wristband next to the dead nurse's body. That night, Johnny sneaks out of the motel window and beats a mannequin to death against the sidewalk and steals its sweater for literally no discernible reason I could ever figure out. After chasing a woman down in a trailer park and presumably killing her, Johnny shoots straight up in bed screaming. Kathy assures him he was just having another nightmare, clearly unaware that the truth is much gorier and stupider than that.
Kathy, I want you to find a psychiatrist.
What?
I'm mistaking you for a hat.
For once in your life, just do what the hell I ask. Can't you see I'm in trouble?
Well, the doctor says you're doing fine.
Find somebody, Kathy, now.
Maybe he got bit by a jerk bat.
Well, of course, I will. He says you don't have to stay here. I've already signed you out.
But I like it here. I love the pudding.
I'm coming home with you.
You don't have to.
I've remarried.
Here, have a mosquito on me.
That's fine. How much is that?
$20.
Now throw in a bag of bat chow.
Sir, this is a non-convulsing zone. Gonna have to ask you to take that elsewhere.
I'm Sheriff Character Actor.
Sergeant Ward, Sheriff's Department.
I'm not a bat! I mean,
How you feeling, Dr. Bay?
Is this your hand?
Reason I ask is, I found this near the body.
A signed confession from you.
It's yours.
Later, over a romantic dinner, they discuss the details of the case. Ew, human lady. Her skin is hairless and she really has small ears.
I'm just gonna fly once around the parking lot.
What the?
It's just a mannequin.
Pose at me in your Izod shirt, will you?
You tell Charlie McCarthy I want my money.
There, now I'll fit in.
Hey, there's a crazed, sweaty guy wearing pajamas and... Oh, wait, he's got a blazer on. It's all right. Do the bat. Oh, man, yeah. Suck your blood, do the bat. Batty, 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 batty. Knock down, groovy bat. Oh, yeah. Wanna suck your cuckoo veins, baby, yeah.
Hey, take it easy. You got a mosquito in your neck. I just want to grab it.
My turtleneck doesn't match our sheets.
It was only a bad dream.
I'm sorry, honey. We gotta wash the sheets again.
Just remember the first 30 years are the hardest.
Back out on deck, the bots find Mike having collapsed, apparently stricken with rabies, and they spring into action with the Pasteur treatment. But was it really necessary in the first place?
Great. Let's get... Oh, Mike! Oh my God! What happened, Mike? Mike, Servo, get the rabies kit. Stat.
I'm on it.
Hang on, buddy. Hang on.
Rabies kit.
Another one,
Here's
and
another.
one more.
Here you go.
Okay.
Good.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Oh, man, don't know what happened. I guess I fell asleep eating my pastry. Huh. Well, no, I'm sure I wouldn't have a bunch of giant hypodermic needles sticking out of my stomach unless it was absolutely necessary.
Well, Mike, you led us to believe you were a rabbit and seconds from becoming a horrible man-bat.
Sheriff Ward comes to their motel in the middle of the night to ask Johnny if he recognizes a piece of gauze found next to the body of the girl whose throat was just ripped out. Now, while a hospital wristband with your name on it is definitely sus, a random bandage is not as much to go on, Sergeant. Johnny decides to continue the treatments in the hospital as the doc tries to assure both him and Kathy that everything will be fine. But everything is not fine when he starts having an attack in the hospital. This one gets so bad he ends up jumping out another window and stealing an entire ambulance. The whole local police force is on the case and tries to stop Johnny, with everyone except the sheriff believing he's just so high on hospital drugs that he stole an ambulance. Again, the truth is so crazy, you can't really blame them for being wrong. Johnny runs Sheriff Ward off the road before crashing and running off into the distance.
And I thought I'd better talk to you.
About what?
Murder.
Murder.
Yes, I want to murder you.
You ever seen this before? The girl ripped it off, whoever attacked her.
It was his prized used Kleenex.
Are you implying that's why? I guess if you've seen one band, you've just seen them all. Right, Doc? But I think what happened is pretty obvious. You were running a very high fever, and you wandered out of your room, and you spotted the nurse lying on the floor.
You killed her?
Dead.
Because of you.
You panicked.
Re-killed her.
You rushed back to your room.
Killed
now
her.
you're in a state of near coma. Then you distorted the sequence of events. In your mind, you killed the nurse.
Which is what you did, so it's fine.
What can I do to help?
Oh, and me, I suppose.
Give him all the support he needs. No pressure.
Expect nothing from him.
I think his mind...
Good morning.
A little fruit for my fruit bat.
I'll get it, Doctor.
No, I want a little rest, that's all.
Johnny, you...
Just get the hell out of here and leave me alone.
Johnny!
Forget it, I'm leaving you for Dr. Mustache Love.
This isn't happening. It's in my mind. It's in my mind.
Well, then you can clean that up with your mind, young man.
I guess he had a garden-level room, huh?
Oh, man, am I a doofus. Man, this remake of The Robe is pretty bad.
Out of the way and warm your hands.
I guess by definition I'm in the Batmobile now.
This is Sergeant Ward. Who is the patient who stole that ambulance?
Male, Caucasian.
What's his name?
Mr. Male Caucasian.
Dr. John.
KFC. Man, imagine those poor saps who lived before Extra Crispy.
Must have been hell.
Kind of a minimalist ambulance.
Fill her up. Thank you.
He was gonna hit him anyway.
Yeah. Whoa, air conditioning really kicked in. Yeah, just let me escape from you first.
Okay, I'll pull over first. This is what I want you to do.
Stolen ambulance westbound. Suspect homicidal.
Hey, I'm heterocidal. Squeak! Squeak! Squeak!
With bitter irony, he realizes he now has to call an ambulance.
While Kathy is questioned by the sheriff about the past few days' events, Johnny runs off into an old barn and meets a drunken vagrant who just rambles and raves. And I'm not exactly sure what the movie's going for here. Is this supposed to be comic relief or just sad? Based on the weird tone, I honestly can't tell. Anyway, Johnny hangs out with his new friend for a while, and things seem awkward but non-batty until he takes a swig from the old man's bottle and chokes again, triggering another spaz attack and killing. He steals the drunk's clothes because a disgusting ancient coat is far less suspicious than a hospital robe, and he runs off into the same cave where he was originally bitten, presumably to live out the rest of his days as the Universal Movie Monsters reject that he is.
We had a young girl killed the other night over at King's Trailer Park. She died pretty much the same way as the nurse the other night.
The other night?
When Dr. Beck ran off.
He didn't run off. He was hallucinating, and that was from the medication.
So he ran off.
What do you believe?
Jack Albertson.
I'm sorry, sonny. I thought you were somebody else. I do.
Could this be my Yoda-like mentor?
You don't look like the kind of fellow who runs around wearing only pajamas.
Sounds like the Swedish Chef Muppet.
You get a roll or something? Who do you suppose would want to take this stuff if they didn't want to be depressed?
He's a naturally occurring clown.
If you're so...
Oh, I'd wipe that off. See?
Hey, you're wasting it. Catch that in a bucket or something.
I know this stuff's bad, but not that bad.
I'm sorry, Liquor. He hurt your feelings.
Yeah, that'll happen, sure. I know some roommate situations just don't work out.
Okay. He's wearing the drunk's clothes, which means there's a dead, smelly, naked drunk somewhere.
Hey, look, he's spying on us, you guys. Get away.
See you.
In the total period that the cave
Ooh, if he reports any inaccuracies on bats, I'll be all over him, man.
are likely to fall fell thousands upon thousands of years ago.
And remember that if you are bit by a bat, you will convulse and turn into one. It is a scientific fact.
After swiping an innocent woman from the tour group while in his Batman state, and then stealing what I assume is her car in his Man state, he sneaks into a hospital in a lab coat. Therefore, he's mistaken for an employed doctor by a poor, naive nurse. Even though he chokes her out to get what he wants, which happens to be IV bags filled with blood, she escapes before he can kill her, leading her to run straight into the sheriff. Now, Tom cracks a line here about the sheriff being a pervert, which we don't really see in this episode, but from some old article or interview about the episode that I couldn't find again for the life of me, I seem to recall it saying that the film was cut down for time, and there were many more sleazy scenes of war in the full-length film. That clearly influenced their writing here, despite those scenes not ending up in the finished episode. Anywho, unable to find Johnny, it turns out that he left a tape recorder where he exposits his entire bat journey and left it for the police to find, and he's decided to live the rest of his life in the caves eating rats. While Kathy doesn't believe it, as it does sound like the ramblings of a madman, it doesn't change the fact that he's confessing to murders that it already kind of looked like he'd committed.
Lisa Loopner.
Smile Cave.
Todd, come on. The most virginal of the herd is carried off.
Pretty good idea how stalactites contain a little tiny bit of mineral is left about.
Hey, she was on the first tour.
Yeah. The longest cave tour ever.
You'd be familiar with, though.
Oh, dude, just drive. Don't call attention to yourself.
I'm Dr. Winston. Can you tell me where the anti-rabies vaccine is stored?
In the cabinet.
Like all nurses, I immediately obey anyone who even resembles a doctor.
You new around here, too?
Look, I'm married and I'm a bat.
Doctor, I'm gonna get some help.
No, the Jehovah's Witnesses are coming up the walk.
Please.
Don't scream.
You just have the cutest little face, don't you?
Remember, I don't want to hurt you. Got it?
Open it. Please, open it.
It's got a bat-proof lid.
I'm gonna go get an owl. I'll kick your ass. Straight into the arms of Sheriff Menacing W. Pervert.
Damn, I hate it when you went to a room and there's no one to shoot. Damn. Shot from inside an oven.
Said you might have found him.
I only talk through my tape recorder.
My name is John Beck. This is my last will and testimony. My final communication with the outside world.
I included this video of me stealing a tape recorder.
The first symptoms of my metamorphosis were strange and horrible, medically indescribable.
This is so sad.
But now the metamorphosis is...
That was a confession.
A confession? From someone pumped full of medicine? He doesn't know what he's saying.
Something within my psyche has emerged, has helped me reach a new consciousness, a sharp awareness of truth, untouched by human greed or ambition.
That's her without sin.
Free from the negative.
For our last mid-movie segment, Mike tries out a mustache just like the Doctor in the film, which doesn't really impress Pearl. Crow, on the other hand, has a much bushier and apparently more attractive mustache, which blows Mike's out of the water.
Yeah, well, I decided to try a mustache again, only a slightly bushier one, like the guy in the movie today. And, you know, I wanted a woman's opinion.
Sort of gives you kind of a Roberty Redfordy kind of thing, in a way. It's not bad.
Hello, Pearl. Will I see you on the slopes later?
Oh, Art. My, you're looking... Oh, what a hunk of burning love.
The fact is, the babes are on me so thick, I gotta peel them off like pants.
Oh, come on, Pearl. Look at him. He looks ridiculous.
Excuse me, Art, what is that small mustachioed idiot next to you croaking about?
Okay, fine. Point taken, okay? It's a nakedy lip for me.
It turns out Johnny couldn't just disappear without saying goodbye to Kathy, so he breaks into her motel room and waits in the dark for her to get there. He insists she goes home without him, while she desperately tries to convince him everything's in his head and that they belong together. After a mild scare with the sheriff coming to the door, Johnny does give in for a little while, and they can finally indulge in the, originally planned honeymoon festivities they didn't get to. Which, of course, is all an awful idea, as Johnny transforms during intercourse, yikes, and Kathy screams and passes out from fear. She wakes up to find Johnny left his wedding ring behind, meaning he's totally gone for realsies this time. The sheriff heads to the caves and searches for Johnny in his new stalactite-filled home, hoping to finally bring him to justice.
Don't.
Don't jump in the bed, you'll spill my nachos.
It's all right, no one can see us.
I don't want you to see me.
I have rat entrails on my lips.
What are you talking about?
Something you could never understand.
The great taste of rat.
You haven't seen your husband, have you?
No, of course not.
Well, I've seen his eye and a little bit of flesh.
I'm in bed. It's very late.
Had a report he was seen in the area.
Honk shoo. Gosh, am I sleeping?
I've got to go.
No.
I have a zit on the end of my nose.
It's all right. You're all right. You look fine, Johnny.
I mean, you're trying to be ugly, right?
Don't you see? It's nothing more than an allergic reaction.
Shellfish makes me turn into a bat.
Well, which slutty little bat gave you this?
And you love me too.
I've seen you undressing me with your sonar.
Well, if I go into the Krispy Kreme, I'll just be advancing the stereotype. Well, he's been using Rembrandt.
I just made love to Chris Berman. He left me guano.
Well, sooner or later I'll have to do the bat-toosie, I suppose. Man, I gotta take more naps if I'm gonna be nocturnal.
If only I had a huge ambulance.
Holy squeak.
After finding Johnny, the sheriff starts to give him a beatdown, and while Johnny didn't intentionally become a creature of the night, he has murdered like at least 4 or 5 people in about 3 days with no signs of slowing down. In the middle of the fight, Johnny transforms and we finally see his face, and it's not very bat-like in the slightest. But hey, what did you expect in a movie originally titled The Bat People? People that look like bats? Then you're in the wrong movie, friends. Anyhow, Johnny beats the sheriff down and skitters away. The sheriff reports back to Kathy, who just so happens to be hearing the same weird sounds Johnny was hearing earlier, so we all know what that means. The sheriff drives her back out to the caves to search for Johnny when a huge swarm of bats goes full-on kamikaze, smashing themselves into bloody pulps against the windshield. Kathy, completely unaffected by this, walks out of the car and into the caves as the sheriff gets accosted by the bats. Kathy wanders into the cave and we see that she is herself turned into a bat person. And I'll give you 3 guesses as to how that happened. And she's gonna go live with Johnny forever, draining rats of their blood for sustenance, and quite probably going out and killing unsuspecting human victims. What a happily disturbing ending.
You're gonna come along with me peacefully.
Please, I'm a protected species.
You know what I mean?
Ooh, right in the sonar. Wow.
I had a ton of you in my attic last summer, you bastard.
Oh yeah, and he was also bitten by an Ecuadorian bald-faced monkey.
I'm flying away. Flap, 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 flap.
Ook, ook, ook. I mean, squeak. Squeak, squeak, squeak.
I was just pimp slapped by a bat. How the hell do I put that in a report? I took a nap in the blast furnace.
Sergeant, is my husband all right?
Ooh, he really banged you up, honey.
I don't know what he is. All right, that's enough.
Well, there he is. He's in the corner.
Let's go.
So who is this movie's target audience?
Well, I don't know. A bat fetishist named Stan, and even he missed it.
Yeah.
Boy, the mosh pit is crowded tonight. It's comfortable with you. We don't have to talk.
Oh, sorry, sonar's jammed.
Somebody's operating a TV in the area and screwing us all up.
Oh my God.
I'm out of wiper fluid.
The bats are causing me to not know how to stop a car.
I'm concerned for the hostile, creepy, ineffective, panicky sheriff.
He's okay.
Goodbye, Sergeant.
Hi, I need a ride.
Yeah, me too. Wait, I'm gonna get my suitcase.
Can my cousin and my mom and my brother come too?
How about me? Could I come along? Really, thanks a lot for the ride. Thanks, man.
So the message is, ladies, if your husband becomes a bat, abandon your career and become one too. Yeah, by this time he's found himself a 22-year-old trophy bat.
And now wait a minute, how did she turn into a bat? The only contact she had with him was in the hotel and oh my God.
Oh my God, I get the shower first.
No, me first.
Come on.
And to cap things off, inspired by the bum in the movie, Servo wants to start a hat distressing franchise, and he clearly got sucked into the boss babe MLM mentality, much to his own downfall. Then we get some interesting lore, as it turns out Pearl has had many, many past husbands who all died terribly on their honeymoons.
So you're a brand new franchisee with the Buddy Epson Hat Distressing Corporation, huh?
Whoo, doggies, Mike.
And you get a bag of dirt.
Yeah.
Good. And reorder forms for the dirt, $75 a bag.
Huh.
And that's it.
What? Wait a minute. Wait, no business plan? No promotional materials? Leads? I paid 20 grand for that?
The castle's calling.
Stupid Buddy Epson did a piece of good. This guy that can't sign it, you stupid, throw it in a seat.
Oh, hi, fellas. Much as I'd love to empathize about the whole Buddy Epson thing, Pearl has trapped us here in the wake of the movie, and we're watching slides of her various honeymoons.
So,
Here's Chuck and me at the prairie dog colony in South Dakota.
Oh,
He became a prairie dog. But usually when my husband's died on the honeymoon, it was more mundane. Like Wendell here. Somebody shot him. Hey, sit down. You want me to marry you?
No.
This is one of my go-to episodes of the series. When I first saw it, I couldn't believe I hadn't heard other Misties talk about it before, or at least not in what I was seeing. It's got the classic monster movie aspects, with just enough human relationship conflicts and drama to make it extra stupid. And the plot, if you can even call it that, is so razor thin. I mean, how does getting bitten by a bat turn you into one? Never explained, and I love it. This movie's cheesy for all the best reasons, and it's definitely worth checking out. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and huge thanks to all my baddie Patreon supporters, including Jackie Ball and Kevin Nata. New year, new reviews. Please give me any suggestions for future reviews this year, whether it be Mystery Science, riff tracks, or something completely random. I'd love to hear them all and see what I can do, copyright permitting and everything. And guys, I honestly wish you the best into this new year. I hope that there's great things ahead for every single one of us. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys later.
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
It'd be a better movie if he had gotten bit by a cow.